Hello, this is Dr. David Ginsberg from the Spine Pain Performance Center. This is shoulder rehabilitation exercises, part 2. Generally speaking, you should refer to part 1 to see how you exercise the shoulder in external rotation, extension, and abduction. That's for basic beginning rotator cuff injury rehabilitation. For phase 2 strengthening, once you've been through that first video, you may want to add some other exercises that do other ranges of motion and more complex movements. So we're going to start with internal rotation. So the tube is in the door like before. You're going to grab the tube, thumb goes up, and you're going to have resistance coming to the inside. Again, you can start with a short, fast movement. Then you're going to progress to slow, full range of motion, and then after several weeks of that, you're going to progress to a faster full range of motion, doing 10 to 15 reps when you're doing full range of motion, slow or fast. And if you're starting out with the short Arc Isokinetics, you're just going to do a very small range of motion, short, fast movements, again, keeping that thumb up, even when you progress to that full range of motion. So that's internal rotation, added to extension, abduction, and external rotation. And then we've also got adduction. So we're going to be, again, having the tube at the wall there. For this one, we're going to raise the tube up higher in the door, close it, you're going to grab, and you're going to bring the arm down to your hip. Let's go ahead and turn that so you can see me a little bit better here. Bring that arm straight down to the hip. And again, you can start with a short, fast range for 15 to 30 seconds. Should be pain-free. If you can do this, the full motion pain-free, then you'll do a slow, full range of motion. Again, starting with the arm out at the side of about 90 degrees of abduction, and then bring it straight to the hip, and then eventually you'll do a fast, full range of motion in abduction. Okay? The next exercise will be essentially an overhead wood chop. So you're going to start with the arm overhead. Now you're going to turn away from the door. So the tube is coming from behind me, and I'm going to basically bring my arm down and across my body to the other hip, keeping the elbow straight all the way across. So with the tube, it's like that. And if I turn a little bit away, there we go, just like that. Bring it down and across. 10 to 15 reps of that overhead wood chop, and you'll want to do that with both arms. For the next set, we're going to take the tube out of the door, and we're going to have the tube under our feet. The first one we're going to do is called drawing the sword. So if we're using the right arm, we're going to place the bottom of the tube under the left foot, okay? So if you look down here, you can see the tube is under my left foot. And then I'm going to basically create tension by holding that tube down there. I'm going to grab the tube at my left hip with my right hand, facing straight ahead, and it's just like if I'm drawing a sword out of its holster. So I'm going to come from here, up and across. Draw the sword. Up and across. 10 to 15 reps. As I come up and across, you see my hand opens up, and I try to keep my elbow straight throughout the movement. And I pull up and across, raising the shoulder back till it's parallel with my body. 10 to 15 reps of those. That's called drawing the sword. Let's see, what else do we have? We have 2 exercises basically that are going to work on the supraspinatus and the scapular movement, or one we call scaption, which is basically holding the scapula against the rib cage. So tube's going to still be under that left foot. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, the first one I'm going to do with the thumb down. So you see my thumb is pointing down towards the floor. And I'm going to just raise into abduction, but my arm is in about 15 degree plane, which is in the same plane as the scapula. So from the side, if I were to turn sideways to you, I'm not going straight out to the side with my thumb down. My arm is about 15 degrees forward, and I'm lifting up from there straight up into abduction in that plane with my thumb down. And then I'm going to repeat that with my thumb up. Again, 15 degrees of abduction. I'm not straight to the side, but I'm slightly forward 15 degrees, and I go straight up and down. 10 to 15 reps for that one. So those 2 both exercises work on scaption and the supraspinatus muscles.